Still think about that one time in Japan sometimes with the bike when I was just a student. Like 20 years old. The quote-unquote legendary biker was me. And the legendary biker was a grade A dummy. Though in the end he did have fun. The bicycle was a 420 centimeters frame. Which is 120 centimeters too small for me really. So I already looked like a deranged animal riding it with a back arch that looked like some sort of mutated hedgehog. A blue one depending on the color of the shirt. Because it was some Italian speed bike I borrowed from my host grandma that her son left. I was just being foolish because the bike was fast. And I thirsted for adventure. My poor host grandma, bless her soul. Anyway. I didn't know the difference between roads and highways. Even though I kind of actually understood the difference. I just decided to not let logic get in the way. Because I thought, the cars over there are going faster. And they have a lot of space on the sides of the road. I bet I can go really fast if I jump over this very obvious barrier. And ride over on that side instead. So I did it for like maybe 40 minutes actually, and it was really fast and fun. Little did I know. This was going to get wet and wild. After a while, there was some construction site I ran into. And a fat pants man jumped in front of me along the side of the road and said Jojo mate kudasai yo gaijin. And so I stopped because you know my Japanese was still kinda shit. But I knew that last word very well. And then that guy said, Waito. And made a phone call. And after about 15 minutes a police car arrived. Now, I pretended I didn't speak any Japanese. Because I heard that's what's better for the lawyers. The officers tried very hard with their makeshift English. But to no avail. Haha. And I felt a little hazukashi for them. Because I could tell they were not angry or anything. They were just confused. So. It so happens I have this hand-drawn map of a roadway to a water park outside Kawagoi in my back pocket. My host grandma drew it for me. Because that's where I said I wanted to go originally. Actually I went on the highway for fun. Haha, but don't tell them that. And then the police guys laughed. And were like, look at this fucking guy. He is so fucking lost it's funny. Can you believe it? I gave them my host grandma's phone number to call to prove I wasn't a hell-bent psychopath. And they called her. I could hear her screams from a distance through the phone. He's a good boy. He means no harm. He's easily confused. Don't arrest him. He's very interesting and handsome, but I think I might remember that last part poorly. My host grandma almost hit the roof naturally that her study abroad student was going to jail because he, although lovable, is an absolute moron. So they waited about 10 minutes because they called a police van. They had to pick up me. And that Italian sweet lil speedster bicycle. I'm really actually at this point not sure what is going on. But I try to be some Suzushi Otoko and just go along with it. When the van showed up, they displayed to the new 2 officers. Now 4 on the scene. The hand-drawn map. And the other police officers laughed. I am not actually that too shit at Japanese. So I understood they said. This dummy got so mixed up on his directions. He thought he had to take the highway to go to a water park. And it so happens one of the guys in the van spoke some better English. Like, I don't know, maybe he paid attention to his ALT in class for a change. And he asked if I was trying to go to the water park really. And I was like, yeah. So he said, okay. We'll take you to the water park then. But first we're going to take you down to the police station. File a police report. And get your fingerprints. Because God fucking help me if we ever catch you doing this shit again, little buddy. You're out of here like a home run ball in the 9th inning by the Yomiuri goddamn Giants. And I said, that sounds fair. And then when I got in the van with the bike, I told them actually I know some only okay Japanese, and we had some fun. Then after a quickie at the police station, they drove me to the water park with the sinful bicycle. So I went to the water park and had fun too. Then I rode 25 kilometers home. My ass was sore from the small bike seat, the water slides, and the spanking I got from the Japanese police. My host grandma was a very strong woman, as you now can tell. I had a great time the rest of the year with her, and believe it or not, managed not to get near arrested again. I miss Japan every now and then. 2 weeks later I rode 147 kilometers to Gunma, which is basically like another state over, you know. Because, hell, I have no idea what I'm doing, but damn, this bike is fast. So I went from Kawagoe to Takasaki and back in one day. The distance is longer because I got lost. But in the dead of night I asked random farmers where Kawagoe was towards and just followed the pointing of their finger. Because, you know, my Japanese was still kinda shit. Using the small 420 centimeters frame Italian speed bike. Taking naps on the side of the road occasionally. And eating convenience store food at every opportunity. I got home around 3 a.m. My host grandma thought I was dead for sure this time. I bet she wishes her real son never got that bike. I also got my Mamashari stolen twice. When I became a state government worker in Japan years later, I rode a bike to work every day. I never forgot the distance between these memories. I like to think it symbolizes my rising growth as a person. Though more than likely, what it means is, I stopped riding Italian speed bikes on the goddamn highway like an insane lunatic. But I sometimes still wonder where those police officers that encountered me ended up, and if they still tell stories about that one time. You know, that one guy. That one time. And so, nowadays, my biggest adventure is going to the grocery store and choosing some vegetables. Memories are worth more than money. Don't forget to eat your veggies though. Also, this one other time I poorly translated from a dictionary that I joined a club circle to my host grandma for an informal gathering. And actually it translated to I joined a gang and I said I was going to drink with them all night. She was like, Honto ni? Honto. Sorry wa. Honto ni? Ino kana? I pray for my host grandma and the condition of her heart. We lived together for the whole year while I was a study abroad student. But this all was like only month 2 or 3 out of 12. Years later, I would go visit her sometimes in Kasumigaseki. My host grandma was wonderful. I'm glad she didn't have a Shinso attack. You know, this is only one of so many misadventures in good old Nippon. But this was definitely the one I got closest to being arrested in. Well, except for that one time in Kabukicho. I miss Japan a lot actually these days. Oh well. Time to go buy more Brussels sprouts. I mean, make haibitsu, or something like that.